Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for taking out the time to share your experience of working with us here at The Abundant Accountant and being in our 8-week sales mastery course. I'd love it if you could share just a little bit about yourself, where you're at in the country, and also how long you've had your firm and what services you provide in your firm as well before we dive into some questions.
Okay. I'm Daniel Avery. I live in Clearfield, Utah, in the between Ogden and Salt Lake City. I've have a brand new firm. I just got my first client this week after wrapping up this course here,
Wow.
and I just received a possible lead just now from what I hope will be a second client. And my firm does bookkeeping and initial cleanups, and eventually I plan to expand into taxes, tax planning, IRS resolution, and CFO advisory.
Thank you for sharing that, Daniel. I'd love it if you could share your brand new firm. What made you realize that you wanted to create a sales process? Like, what were things like in your firm before we met where you're like, I need to get a sales workflow process in place so I can actually close the leads that I end up getting? I would love it if you could share what were things like before you and I met.
Sure. I have talked about starting a firm like this for, oh, I don't know, 5 years, 3 years, somewhere like that, and it's just never gotten off the ground. The lead I'm working with right now, I actually have been talking to him pretty much that entire time that one of these days we should work together. Maybe I'll do some financial work for him, and it's just been that. It's just been talk. He's a neighbor. I've talked to him off and on. We see each other regularly, and I have also uh, I've talked about getting my website set up. I've talked with my dad, but again, it was all talk. There was no accountability. There wasn't any action taking place. And this course definitely made me take action.
Yeah, and you did all the work, and I'm super proud of you. But what would you share with another firm owner that might be starting out who says, I'm in a job, I've got my side hustle on the side, I want to go all in, I want to have my own firm, but they're kind of like you. They've been saying this for years. Like, what do you think the biggest challenge was in getting things off the ground, learning how to sell, learning how to close, getting paid up front, and all these things that actually make a business versus just a hobby?
Oh, good question. There was actually a lot I hadn't thought through, and this course helped me think through so much that I didn't even realize I would need to think through. And that was a large part, I think, I suspected in the back of my mind, there's more to this and that's why I haven't pulled the trigger. And this course made me go through that mental work, through the thought processes and talking to others and networking so that I could actually take action instead of keep talking about it.
Right. So, what was the moment you decided to take action instead of stop talking about it?
The moment I agreed to pay for the course, to be honest. I said, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. I was on the sales call and I thought, well, actually, you're right. I think seeing these video testimonials of other past clients, when I realized how much benefit they had all gotten from the course, I said, there's no way a company can get this many video testimonials of people having this many actual results without there being real results. I've signed up for courses in the past that were no help at all and just they threw information at you and then they let you to sink or swim. And this course gives you the accountability and you should do it.
Well, thank you. We'll get into that, but I think that's also a really big deal too, is you've invested in other courses and things to try to help you, get out of your own way basically, but nothing really worked. What would you say was different, or, what was your main concern when evaluating our coaching program, and would this work for you or not?
Mm. I think the biggest thing is I've learned through all these past courses that I need to not just have the information, but also the community and the accountability. And this course has both of those, definitely. I came away each week inspired. I was having someone say, "Hey, where's this?" It made me get it done.
Yeah. Well, some people still don't do it, but majority are like you, Daniel, and get it done and turned in. But yes, we do hold you very accountable. So I'd love it if you could share like that decision moment when you said, okay, I'm going to pay and I'm going to invest in this course, even though you spent thousands of dollars on other coaches, courses, and more information, but didn't get any transformation? Can you walk through that decision making process where you're like, okay, I am going to do this. I'm brand new. I don't have any money. You had to borrow money, right? And I think there's a lot of other
Yeah.
firm owners, Daniel, in that same spot where you have to leverage an investment like this. When you're brand new, you don't have the revenue, you don't have the money. You have to leverage loans, family, lines of credit, credit cards. What was that thinking for you, especially since you already invested thousands and it didn't work, where you're just like, I'm going to do this? Like, share with us that decision making process so the other firm owners who are going to be watching your video, who are brand new as well, can maybe see from your perspective.
Early on in the process, you asked me to prepare a list of answers to 5 questions, and that had a big help, made a big difference. But again, I've been talking about it for a long time. I've talked about a lot of different businesses, but accounting is something that's it's me. I know now I've had some experience. Accounting is what I can do that I can actually serve people rather than trying to use a course to learn a whole new topic. Learning about selling accounting, that's uh, um, a surefire way to amp yourself up in something you already know. So
Right.
it's not going to be like other internet courses out there that teach you some brand new whole set of unrelated skills to what you do. This course is very practical and it builds on things you already know. And for me, I knew that if I started an accounting firm versus, marketing firms or drop shipping or other things I've tried in the past, this was actually going to make the real difference in my life. And I knew that because as I talked about it and I learned about what the course can give me, I knew that this was something I can tell my wife, I can tell my dad, I can get financing for, and I'd be able to make it worthwhile where people could understand this is something I really need.
Yeah, got it. No, and I appreciate you sharing that. Did you have any, considering you already had done other courses and things and got more information, but it didn't work for you and it didn't get you to take action? Before you did the 5 questions and started the program, did you have any fears or hesitations or objections when it was time to make the decision and pay us and commit to investing the time? Like, what was that process like for you? Because you did have to borrow money and you did leverage your investment. What were your fears, hesitations, or objections that you had around that, and how did you overcome them?
My biggest fear again was the cost because, I'm a brand new firm without any funds. I'm also getting my master's degree in accounting right now and studying for my CMA and CPA exams. So I have a lot of time pulls on me. I don't have a job at the moment, so that made it a little easier, but it also gave me the fire. I need to hurry up and get this done.
Yeah.
Um, so I was most worried that after the time that I've put in, it wouldn't pay off, or that it was too expensive and I would be driving my family into debt without any um, reward at the end.
Yeah. And how did you overcome that and say, I'm going to do
Sure.
this and
Um,
this is what I
I
need?
think actually the video testimonials made a big difference for me.
Oh,
That's one reason I'm so happy to do this is because this works. If you put in the work, besides just spending the money and actually do the work, it
yeah.
will make a difference for you. And that's what I learned I could also trust myself because I had done a somewhat similar course elsewhere that I had put in the work for, and I realized I can trust myself, especially if there's accountability. And when I realized there's accountability in this course, I said, "All right, I'm in."
Yeah. And so, how was the experience, Daniel? Share with us the experience over the last 8 weeks and what was unique and different about working with me and my team versus other courses and coaching programs that you have done in your past.
I I liked that I knew the coaches up front. There weren't a whole lot of coaches, and I think that for me was a benefit. I knew who they all were. I knew I knew what they each helped with. Getting to know the other participants in the program. A lot of times you can buy these programs and you never know who else is in the program at the same time. But talking through it with each other and encouraging each other on regular basis was very helpful. The uh, like I said, there was so much that I hadn't even considered that I would have to think about, let alone actually done the thinking for it. And also the confidence of sharing where I was with an assignment and then getting feedback from the trainer, like, that's actually not bad, or I would tweak this, made a big difference in my confidence to be able to execute.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. And I'm curious because I'm sure a lot of firm owners who are brand new, just like you, Daniel, are wondering how soon were you able to apply what you were learning in your actual conversations and decisions that you were making through your firm, going through all of the different assignments since you're starting from scratch?
Well, it's an 8-week course, and I would say after week 2, I already felt more confident about how to interact with people. Obviously, when you get to week 6, 7, it's much easier, and you know much of the process, and so you can start reaching out to business owners. But even after week 2, you already have something that you can go out and start talking to leads.
Yeah. And I would love it, Daniel, if you could share why was this so important for you to do first before you went and got marketing help or lead generation help? Why was the sales process and creating confidence around converting clients into high paying clients more important for you than trying to get leads or trying to advertise or trying to get a marketing agency to help you? I'd love it if you could share your perspective on that.
Sure. Two things. The first one is in many of these courses that I've taken and in my business degrees, I've studied internet marketing, and you have the levers that you pull of traffic, which is leads, of conversion, which is what this course helps with, and average order value, which again is what this course helps with. And it became clear to me in the past from taking these courses, traffic and leads, it'll come and go. You, if you don't have anything to close the leads, then what do you do it? You're just throwing your money away. And I realized from those experiences that conversion and average order value makes so much of a difference. And this course exactly helps you with both of those problems. And the second thing that backed that up for me was I already had leads. I had people that I talked to, and I said, "Oh, well, maybe someday." But or maybe I'll do it for free. I was talking to some of them about maybe doing work for free. And now that I've taken this course, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah. So
So I knew, I couldn't close the leads I already had.
right. How many total leads did you have but never closed before you met with me and did the program? Like in total, how much money do you feel you left on the table where you're like, okay, I got to really make this change?
Oh, um, well, based on the work that I've done in the course, I've left anywhere from, I would have left without this course anywhere from 10,000 to 32,000, maybe even up to 64,000 between the leads that I've talked to.
Right. And that's what conversion is all about, right? Or like you call the average order value, or what I call that in this world is the pricing of your packages and what are
Right,
you going to go out there with and how
right.
you're going to charge confidently because your brand new client you got a lot more than you thought you were going to get.
I would definitely have done that for free in the past.
Right. So you 5x'd it, I think, if I correct me if I'm wrong, right? You charge 500% more than the zero you would have charged in the past.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm so proud of you, Daniel, and just all the work that you've done. Do you have any other aha moments or celebrations or financial successes that you want to share that you've experienced in the last 8 weeks that maybe I just didn't ask you yet?
I think one of the biggest things I've gotten from this course is the ability to critique what it is I just did in a sales interaction. When
Mm,
I meet with someone and then I leave the conversation, I can think, oh, I should have done this. And I know what I should have done.
right.
And I'm thinking about it to apply it. It's not just information sitting in my brain. I'm out in the world and thinking to myself, wow, I should have done this. Or, you know what, next time I will do this piece because I did that pretty well. I just didn't do this very well.
Mm,
And it gives me a system of how to think about my interactions, which means, to be honest, it gives me so much confidence in my ability to sell my services much better in the future than I have been before I took this course. And that's another big thing I've learned from this course is the importance of being in control of your sales process. gives you that confidence. Control and certainty brings confidence. And we've talked about that regularly in the course, I feel like, but that's been one of my takeaways. And I feel so much more in
I think it's
control of my
ingrained
sales.
in you. I think you embody that now, though. And I think that's really how you've done such a massive shift. And I'm just so proud of you. Um, I know these videos made a real big impact on you, Daniel. Is there anything that maybe you wish you would have heard in a video in the past, of any words of wisdom you would love to share with someone else who's maybe brand new? They just got laid off from a job. They've had a side hustle for a while. They're terrified to maybe quit their job because they're relying on that paycheck every 2 weeks, but they're really serious about taking their firm to the next level. What words of wisdom, or do you have anything else you'd love to share with them that maybe you wish you would have heard in one of these videos that I just haven't asked you yet?
Hmm. I would say that if you've lost your job and you are considering whether you can make your side business full time, this is the course that you need for that because it gives you the confidence and it gives you um, the control that you need to be able to do that, primarily through increasing your pricing. And I have seen through networking, through research that I've done both during and outside of this course, pricing is the big issue in accounting firms everywhere. And this course will absolutely help you with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Daniel, so much. It's been an honor and super grateful for you to take out the time to do this with me today.
Thank you.